Hello everyone, and today I have a very exciting chess game to show you by Wilhelm Steinitz. Steinitz had the white pieces and his opponent was the German chess master Adolf Stern, a not very well-known chess player, and this chess game was played in the Baden Baden chess tournament from 1870 in Germany. So this was one of the chess games from that chess tournament. This chess tournament was one of the strongest chess tournaments in the 19th century, in the late 19th century of chess. And this is the final standing of this tournament. You can see that Steinitz finished the tournament behind Adolf Anderssen. Anderssen was the winner. Very impressive. So this was the final standing. Just in case, if you wonder, only for the records. So you can see that Joseph Henry Blackburn was also competing and he finished at the 4th place. And you can see that Stern finished the tournament at the final place because actually at that time there was a very serious war. So just a day after the tournament began, the Franco-Prussian War broke out between France and Prussia. Prussia is an old German state which had a very strong military, one of the major military powers of Europe. And this was a huge war, by the way, and the war came very close to the tournament building. Some of the battles was fought very close to the tournament building. The players who was competing in the tournament could hear the artillery sound. So it was only 30 kilometers away from the tournament building. So after his chess game against Wilhelm Steinitz, Adolf Stern later after this chess game, he went to the war as a soldier. And thankfully he was survived, but he was a Bavarian reservist, left the tournament after 4 rounds to fight in the war. So his chess games were not counted in the final scores. So I thought if I give some informations about the tournament, it would be interesting. So let's check out what happened in this pretty exciting chess game. Steinitz starts the game with e4, and we have the Sicilian defense, knight to c3, knight to c6. And we have the open Sicilian, which is known as the Taimanov variation of the Sicilian defense, but this is before Taimanov. So d6, bishop to c4, developing the knight and white castle, knight to g6, bishop to e3, bishop to e7 and f5. f4, f5 is on the cards, maybe opening the rook. So castling, queen to h5, white pieces are aggressively placed, things flow for white already out of the opening. So knight takes, bishop to f6, and not exchanging the bishops. Now Stern decided to win a pawn. So bishop takes knight and then queen to c7, defending the bishop and winning a pawn. So is this winning for black? I mean, a pawn is a pawn, but white has the bishop here, active pieces, and while white queen aims at the king with being very close to the king, black queen seems less threatening. So f5 exclamation point, full steam ahead, and then f6, threatening queen to g5, also capturing the pawn is a possibility. So black decided to capture, but this opens the king. And its safety has been compromised, and also we have dark square weakness, defending the rook over. So Steinitz wants to lift his rook up. So king to h8. For example, if knight takes bishop, it's just getting mated, so the knight is the only defender of the checkmate threat. So if a6, then bishop to g5 is a very strong move, because if you take the bishop, queen takes, forking king and the rook. Also bishop takes is a threat, and defending is going to be very difficult. So king to h8, and then rook lift and bringing the big gun out. So knight to g6, knight goes back, and then e5 by Wilhelm Steinitz, liberating the bishop. As you can see, bishop takes knight is a threat. But actually, in this position, can you see a stronger move? It should not be too difficult after what we have discussed it. So knight to g6 and we have e5. So instead of e5, can you guess one another very strong move? Okay, did you see bishop to g5? Even stronger than e5, because if capturing the bishop, this is going to open the rook, and how to defend the checkmate threat. If knight to f8, then pushing the pawn, and you can't defend rook takes, knight takes, queen takes, checkmate, liberating the bishop. So in here, actually the computer engine said queen back is the best defense. So, okay, did you see, in here, did you see bishop to g5? This was a very strong move. You always have to be aware of tactics like this in your own chess games. So, okay, but Steinitz's move was the second top engine move, e5, which was not very difficult to find. So, getting away from the line of fire of the rook, but then rook takes on f6, king to g8, defending the f-pawn. But now the stage is set for the crashing attack. And Steinitz lands flurry of punches. Bishop takes knight, pawn takes, and then rook takes on g6. Rook sacrifice, a brutal attack. King to h8. If capturing the rook, very simple, black is getting checkmated. And if king to f7, then rook to g7, and black is getting mated again. So rook takes on g6, king to h8, bishop to g7, and then discovered check. If capturing the rook, black is getting checkmated. So king to f8, and Steinitz lands the final knockout punch in the face. Rook to g8, and Stern resigned. He was mobilized by the Bavarian Reserve Corps after this chess game. Basically, he went to the war. He went to war as a soldier, and then he survived that horrible war, very, very bloody war. Germany defeated France decisively after this war, by the way, and Germany was Prussia at that time, and then they formed the first German Empire, and then the First World War happened. So it was a very important, this war was a very important part of the history as well. So they played this chess game with hearing some of the artillery sounds at the same time, so you can imagine the environment much better. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so the possible continuation, why Stern resigned after rook to g8. This is the only move, and then check, and black is getting checkmated. So in here, after check, if king to f8, then this is also getting mated. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed watching this chess game, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.